Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as I may in front of us, it's a Celtic crossword as always, and also pull the 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off our roll nose astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your folks should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Saturn. So Saturn actually is currently retrograde in Aries, which is your 5th house of romance, creativity, children, and it's going to retrograde into Pisces on the 1st of September, and Pisces for you guys is your 4th house of home, roots, and family. Well, speaking of which, we have Pisces coming up with this dice as well, so yeah, it could just be one of those things where there's going to be a lot of focus on your home environment this month. And possibly also your partnerships, relationships, and contracts as well with the 7th house energy. And for you guys, 7th house energy is Gemini. So astrologically speaking, we do have Uranus there, so that would make sense as far as you could have some shifting around that area of life as well. And that's actually going to start a retrograde on September 6th. So could definitely be some reevaluation of those areas of life for sure. But keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. All right. In the main situation position, we have the world. So usually I view this as a North Node energy, which is currently in Pisces, which we were talking about with the dice as well. But yeah, I feel like this is saying that you've learned a lesson around something, probably one that was a hard-won lesson as well. But with the 4 of Cups in the challenge position, could just be saying that for whatever reason, there's no ability on your part to act on that lesson just yet. So, for example, if you're in an environment where you're getting offered things that don't necessarily suit you, right? The lesson there might be that, well, maybe you've outgrown that environment, right? But maybe there's resistance on your part to see it that way. So that's one way those energies could be playing out. All right. In the foundation position, we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, so I feel like this cycle is getting you closer to wanting to take action on the situation, but you're just not quite ready to do it just yet, it seems. All right, in the past position, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, so maybe for some of you, this is just saying that you might have gone through a cycle where you were feeling primarily independent, right? You might have been focusing more on career goals and probably having some success in doing so as well. And maybe that's saying that, that was good for a while, but now maybe you're looking for more of an emotional connection as well, in addition to the career successes you've had, but you might be finding that there's a bit of a struggle with that area of life. In the present position, we have the Knight of Cups. So yeah, so for some of you, this could be pointing to the key to getting out of that energy, right? Because the 4 of Cups is a very passive energy, right? We see the person sitting there with their arms crossed, which indicates that they're not happy with what's being offered, but at the same time, they're not taking any action to go after what they do want. Whereas this Knight of Cups energy definitely looks like a more action-oriented energy. So yeah, so for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe you're coming to the realization that, okay, you know what? If I want something and I know what that is, but it's not coming my way, then maybe it's on me to actually go after it. In the near future position, we have the Devil. So yeah, so for some of you, it could just be saying that maybe this is a bit of a hard cycle for you guys to break though, right? So maybe you've been in that energy for so long that it's hard for you to shift gears now. And maybe it's one of those things too, right? So maybe, all right, so a generic example that might tie these energies in together in a more practical way is, let's say you're in an area where it's very lucrative financially, right? So the city you're living in maybe has this great career opportunity where the pay is really high and that's going well for you. But then maybe the dating scene in that area sucks, right? So, like, okay, like I can't, it's hard for me to walk away from this level of financial security and success that I'm having. But if I do want something deeper in my life, I might need to change that environment, right? Because where I'm at now is not conducive for that. So that could be a type of push pull energy you're feeling right now. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Page of Wands. So yeah, so it definitely looks like there is a desire to explore on your part. It looks like you do want to see different things. So maybe for some of you, going on what were you saying there, right? Maybe you're feeling like you're outgrowing your environment in some way. So that could even have you just filled with this desire to seek out a new environment. Now, for some of you, it would just be to travel, right, which is very Sagittarian. But for some of you, it could even just be moving in general, given the Pisces energy we see there and the fact that the North Node is in that sign. And that does point to the home environment. So, yeah, so for some of you, might ultimately decide that the best thing to do would be to move. But for others of you, I feel like at the very least, you want to travel somewhere. Right. In the environment position, we have the Fool. So yeah, so it just seems like a timing thing too, to where it feels like you just might be feeling more of a nudge to get out and explore, right? Which is again, I feel like that's a energy that mostly comes naturally to Sagittarians, but maybe you parted from that for a while. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here. So yeah, so this could be another indicator that ultimately you might find yourselves now actually wanting to pursue a romantic connection, right? So like I said, maybe you've been there, done that, you've conquered things when it comes to your career. Now you're like, okay, now that I'm settled in this area of life, this is the next thing I want to move toward. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is a good thing to see in the outcome as far as we were talking about with the Four of Cups energy. We see the person who clearly doesn't look like they're happy with what's being offered, but they're not necessarily doing anything about it, right? Whereas at least the Eight of Cups, we see a more action-oriented energy, right? So it also looks like leaving cups behind because it's not necessarily something that fits with what you're looking for, but at least there's a more action-oriented energy behind that, right? So yeah, it looks like you will be making efforts to change the things that you don't like in your environment, which is definitely a positive. And bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. So yeah, some more Gemini energy here, which again, like we said, 7 fouls came up with your dice as well. So yeah, could just be saying that ultimately this is just where you're finding yourselves naturally pulled toward now. Is okay, like we said, I have a feeling a lot of you probably have career success, and now you're like, okay, now I'd like to move toward a romantic connection. All right, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Don't Take Anything Personally, and it says your truth is personal to you. Right? It says your own opinions and point of view reflect your own agreements and are personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because maybe for some of you, you've resisted making this move, right? Maybe people around you are like, oh, is that really the best thing, right? So maybe you had some doubters, and maybe you're ultimately coming to the realization that, okay, well, these thoughts keep coming to me, right? And where I'm at now doesn't seem fulfilling. So, you know what? Even if other people don't understand where I'm coming from, it seems like it might need to be a move that I make. All right. And from the Wisdom Oracle, we have a change in the wind. There's the artwork, and the number is 12. We'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says a sense an unseen change has been initiated, preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. The Oracle's message: it's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. So that last sentence there, the unknown is where the magic lies, definitely makes you think of what we were saying there, where you might just be taking some chances to explore, right? If the environment you're in doesn't seem to be fulfilling right now, but hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other, and stormy emotions and moods threaten to take down the ship. Perhaps someone has a change of heart and leaves. These rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart better, and to know what you need to be truly happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come from it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. So yeah, so for those of you where it's not necessarily that you're trying to put yourselves out there and get into a relationship, for those of you who are already in a relationship, if there's some issues with that connection, hopefully that message resonated. And the prosperity message says, as you endeavor to create a prosperous life, you may encounter unexpected reversals that cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there is nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All be well. Even better, actually. Trust. So yeah, hopefully that message resonated with you guys as well. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.